Twilight by Melissa Rosenberg, based on the novel by Stephanie Meyer. Fade in. Olympic National Park, Washington. Dawn. Moss-draped, shadow-drenched. Tortured tree trunks twist upward, reaching for rare sunlight.
I'd never given much thought to how I would die.
Suddenly, the forest is silent. A predator is near. Then, in the distance, we hear a twig snapping. Abruptly, we're on the move. Fast. It's exhilarating, terrifying. Finally, up ahead, we get the first glimpse of our prey. A deer. Bam! The deer abruptly plummets out of frame at an unnatural angle, leaving the white glare to fill the screen.
But dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go.
We see the face of Isabella Swan, eyes closed against the sunlight, absorbing its rays.
So I can't bring myself to regret the decision that brought me here to die. The decision to leave home.
Scottsdale, day. Bella, at the end of a cul-de-sac, bends down and scoops a barrel cactus into a clay pot.
Hi, Bella. Good luck at your new school.
Bella waves back half-heartedly as she steps off the curb.
Bye. Have a good...
And tricks. When she writes herself, they're already gone.
life.
Clearly not close friends. Bella's mother, Renee, exits their house. It's low rent for this ritzy neighborhood. Renee is more best friend than parent. She thrusts a cell phone at Bella.
It won't work again, baby.
You put it on hold.
I did?
Look, you also called Mexico.
I'll figure it out. I mean, you got to be able to reach me and Phil on the road. I love saying that, on the road.
Very romantic.
Phil exits the house carrying Bella's suitcases.
If you call crappy motels, backwater towns, and ballpark hot dogs romantic.
He puts heads to the old station wagon to load the luggage.
Now, you know, if you change your mind, I will race back home from wherever the game is.
I won't change my mind, Mom.
I mean, you might. You always hated forks.
It's not about forks, it's about Dad. I mean, 2 weeks a year, we barely know each other. I want to go. I'll be fine.
But as Renee hugs Bella, we see the truth on Bella's face. Dread, doubt, regret. We cut to Washington State, where a police cruiser drives along a two-way highway. In the passenger side window, Bella looks out, taking in her gloomy new surroundings. Bella sits next to her uniformed father, Police Chief Charlie Swan.
Your hair's longer?
Oh, I cut it since I last saw you.
Guess it grew out again. How's your mom?
Good.
They pass a sign. The city of Forks welcomes you. Population 3,246. Bella sighs. They arrive at Charlie's house and carry in Bella's bags.
I put Grandma's old desk in your room and I cleared some shelves in the bathroom.
That's right. One bathroom.
I'll just put these up in your room.
I can do it.
They both reach for the bags, bumping into one another awkwardly. Bella backs off, letting Charlie carry the bags upstairs. Bella's room. As she unpacks her CD case, loneliness finally overwhelms her. Tears threatening. We hear a honk outside. Bella looks out the window to see a faded red truck. Bella exits the house to find Charlie greeting the driver, Jacob Black, 16. The two of them help Jacob's father, Billy Black, into the wheelchair.
Bella, you remember Billy Black?
Glad you're finally here. Charlie hasn't shut up about it since you told him you were coming.
Keep exaggerating, I'll wheel you down the hill.
Right after I rammed you in the ankles.
Hey, I'm Jacob. We made mud pies together when we were little kids.
Yeah, I think I remember. Are they always like this?
It's getting worse with age.
Charlie pats the hood of the truck, addressing Bella.
What do you think of your homecoming gift?
No way. The truck's for me?
Just bought it off Billy here.
I rebuilt the engine, and I did.
Perfect.
She beams and rushes to the truck. Jacob eagerly joins her.
Okay, so you gotta double pump the clutch when you shift, but...
He hands her the keys as she climbs in.
Maybe I can give you a ride to school.
I go to school on the reservation.
Oh, too bad. Would have been nice to know at least one person.
We cut to the outside of Forks High School. All eyes are on her as she climbs out of her truck and steps in a puddle, soaking her sneakers. She slinks towards school and makes her way through kids who stare openly. Eric appears in her path.
You're Isabella Swan, the new girl. Hi, I'm Eric, the eyes and ears of this place. Anything you need. Tour guide, lunch date, what? Shoulder to cry on?
I'm kind of the suffer in silence type.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good headline for your feature. I'm on the paper in your news, baby. Front page.
No, I'm not news. I'm seriously no, not.
Whoa. Chillax. No feature.
Okay. Would you mind just pointing me toward Mr. Varner's class?
He leads the way.
You've missed a lot of the semester, but I can hook you up. Tutor, cliff notes, medical excuse.
We shift to the gym. Bella, in gym clothes, avoids the volleyball like it's radioactive. An energetic, athletic team captain, Jessica, motivates the players.
Lock it, Chloe. Yeah, good attack.
The volleyball heads towards Bella. She closes her eyes and flails at it, smacking it. It flies off court and beams Mike Newton in the head.
Ow!
Oh, are you all right? I warned them not to let me play.
It's just a flesh wound.
A bell rings. Class over.
You're Isabella, right?
Just Bella.
I'm Mike Newton.
He looks at her a second too long, clearly taking her in. Suddenly, Jessica appears, stepping between them.
Got a great spike, doesn't she? So you're from Arizona, right? Aren't people supposed to be tan down there?
That's why they kicked me out.
Mike laughs, and because he does, Jessica does. Bella just feels uncomfortable. Cut to the cafeteria. We follow Bella, Mike, and Jessica as they carry their trays to the table. Eric appears and squishes into a seat right next to Bella.
Yeah, Mike, you and my homegirl, Bella.
Hey, homegirl. You're a homegirl, right?
It's first grade all over again, and you're the shiny new toy.
Suddenly, a flashbulb blinds Bella. She looks up at the photographer, Angela, Jessica's low-key, insecure friend.
Sorry, I just needed a candid for the feature.
Oh, feature's dead, Angela. Don't bring it up again. I got your back, baby.
I mean, I guess we could just run another editorial on teen drinking.
I'm sorry. There's always eating disorders or speedo padding on the swim team.
Wait, that's a good one.
But Bella's attention is now riveted to the double doors of the cafeteria. They swing open as four of the most astounding people Bella's ever seen enter. In slow motion, the Cullen. All chalky pale, all devastatingly beautiful. They move through the room with effortless grace and take a seat at the table furthest from Bella's.
Who are they?
The Cullens.
Dr. and Mrs. Cullen's foster kids. They all moved down here from Alaska 2 years ago.
Yeah, they kind of keep to themselves.
Because they're all together. Like, together. The blonde girl, Rosalie, and the big dark-haired guy, Emmett, they're a thing. I'm not sure that's even legal.
Jess, they're not, like, actually related.
But they live together. And the little dark-haired girl, Alice, she's really weird. And she's with Jasper, the blonde who looks like he's in pain. I mean, Dr. Cullen's like this foster dad / matchmaker.
Ooh, maybe he'll adopt me.
Then Bella sees the last Cullen enter, Edward, 17, the most striking of all.
Who's he?
That's Edward Cullen.
Suddenly, Edward looks over, as if he heard Jessica from across the room. His eyes meet Bella's. Bella quickly looks away.
He's totally gorgeous, obviously, but apparently no one here is good enough for him, like I care. Anyway, don't waste your time.
I wasn't planning on it.
But Bella can't help but peek at Edward again. He's staring at her outright with a slightly frustrated expression that unnerves Bella. She hides behind her hair. Biology class. As Bella moves to the teacher with her class slip, she notes Edward, sitting at a front table. As she passes Edward's table, the breeze she creates lifts a piece of paper next to Edward. He inhales, then abruptly stiffens. He grabs onto the edge of the table, crumbling it slightly. No one notices. Mr. Molina takes Bella's class slip.
Welcome, Mrs. Swan. Follow along as best as you can till we get caught up.
Mr. Molina gestures to the only open seat, next to Edward. As Bella approaches, she's taken aback on what's on Edward's face. He slowly looks up at her, his eyes coal black with repulsion, fury. If looks could literally kill. Bella knocks someone's book bag off their chair, replaces it, mumbling an apology, then slinks reluctantly into her chair. Edward jerks away from her to the extreme edge of his chair.
Today we'll be observing the behavior of flatworms. We're going to cut them in half. Then we're going to watch them regenerate into 2 separate worms.
Bella glances at Edward, who is holding a hand over his nose as if he smells something horrible. Bella suddenly sniffs the air, then her hair. She smells nothing. Mr. Molina hands Edward 2 petri dishes.
Yes, folks, zombie worms. They just won't die.
Edward takes a dish, then slides the second one to Bella as if she had Ebola. She takes her dish, makes a dark curtain of her hair between them. She can see Edward's hands under the table, clenched into fists. The bell rings. Edward bolts out the room. Other kids and Bella exit a moment later. Administration office. Bella enters, but nearly turns and leaves when she sees Edward talking to the administrator. He doesn't see Bella enter.
There must be something open 6th period physics, biochem.
Oh, every class is full. I am afraid you'll have to stay in biology. I'm so sorry.
The administrator sees Bella and gestures for her to wait a minute, but Edward suddenly straightens as if sensing Bella. He slowly turns to glare at her with piercing, hate-filled eyes. She backs into a wall, hugging herself, suddenly chilled with fear.
I'll just endure it.
Outside the high school, Edward climbs into a silver Volvo with the Cullens, while Bella, upset, hurries to her truck. Her eyes well, but she fights it, getting mad.
Jerk.
As she tries to start the car, choking the engine, we begin to hear a man's ragged, frightened breath. We see a security guard in the darkness, terrified, sweat dripping, trying desperately not to make a sound. He's crouched in a corner, but then he sees a shadow move blindingly past him. He jerks around, then another shadow flies past. He bolts up a flight of stairs as fast as humanly possible, while an unknown point of view charges after him, getting closer and closer to the security guard, who desperately runs for his life. The guard bursts out into a stair landing, loses his footing and trips, breaking through the rail, hovering midair. A hand grips his shirt, then yanks him out of frame. His guttural scream is choked short as blood sprays the landing. Fork's Coffee Shop. A sirloin steak is set in front of Charlie. He shares the table with Bella. The waitress beams at Bella as she sets a plate of cod in front of her.
I can't get over how grown up you are and so gorgeous.
A bearded hippie logger, Waylon Forge, 50, appears behind Cora, leaning over her shoulder to Bella.
Hey, remember me, honey? I was Santa one year.
Waylon, she hasn't had a Christmas here since she was 4.
Bet I made an impression, though.
You always do.
Oh, let the girl eat her cod, Waylon. When you're done, I'll bring your favorite, berry cobbler. Remember, your dad still has it every Thursday, honey.
Bella doesn't remember at all.
That would be great. Thank you.
Left alone now, Charlie and Bella both reach for the salt, knock hands. Charlie goes for the ketchup instead, silence as they eat.
So, you eat here every night?
Easier than washing dishes.
I do the cooking at home, but in Phoenix. Mom's not great in the kitchen.
I remember. How was school? Meet anyone?
A few people. Do you know the Cullen family?
Are people talking about them again?
No. Well, a little.
Just because they're newcomers. We're lucky to have a surgeon like Dr. Cullen at our podunk hospital. Lucky his wife wanted to live in a small town. Lucky his kids aren't like a lot of the hellraisers around here.
Okay.
I just don't like the narrow-mindedness.
Cut to Bella's room. She's talking on the phone.
Well, if spring training goes well, then we'll be living in Florida permanently.
Please insert 25 cents to continue.
Mom, where's your cell?
Cut to a gas station. Renee talks on a payphone, her dead cell phone in her hand. Phil and an attendant work on the Subaru engine in the background.
Okay, I didn't lose the power cord. It ran away, screaming. I literally repel technology now.
Renee feeds the phone quarters.
Okay, now, tell me more about your school, baby. What are the kids like? Are there any cute boys? I mean, are they being nice to you?
They've all been really, welcoming.
Pop to Edward's face, his coal black eyes, the fury. Smash to school. Morning. On Bella, her eyes are on the arriving kids in the parking lot as they pull in. She's waiting for Edward. Jessica, Angela, Mike, and Eric kick around a soccer ball nearby. They wave Bella to join them, but she smiles, declining. Bella strides into biology class, but stops, surprised to find her lab table empty. A montage over several days. Bella sits with Jessica and Angela, who watch a YouTube video on their phone. Bella is focused on the Cullen table. Edward's seat is empty. Girls' bathroom. Bella washes her hands, then looks up at the mirror, startled to find Rosalie and Alice behind her. They study Bella, Rosalie with chillingly cold eyes, Alice with curiosity. Bella hurries out. Bella exits the school with Angela, Mike, Jessica, and Eric. She now only glances at Rosalie's car again. For Cullens, no Edward. Bella returns to her friends, finally forgetting about him. We go to Harley's house. Bella grabs her book bag.
Dad, I'm heading out.
It's pouring down rain. Bella shivers, wraps her coat tight.
Great.
Pan to the driveway of Charlie pulls into driving her truck.
Dad, I can drive myself to school.
As she walks down the steps, she doesn't realize something's watching her from the trees, tracking Bella's every move as she slips and falls on a patch of ice. Charlie climbs out of the truck, helps her out.
You okay, Bells?
Oh, ice does not help the uncoordinated.
That's why I got you new tires. The other ones were nearly bald.
You got me new tires? No one's ever done that before.
Charlie looks at her, confused.
I mean, nothing.
He clearly doesn't get it as he heads towards his cruiser.
I'll be late for dinner. I'm heading down to Mason County. Security guard at the Grisham Mill got killed by some kind of animal.
An animal?
You're not in Phoenix anymore, honey. They've been hunting this thing for a week with no luck. Thought I'd lend a hand.
Be careful.
Always am.
And thank you for the tires.
Cut to the school hallway. Rain beats on the roof as Eric walks Bella into class.
And yeah, prom committee is a chick thing, but I gotta cover it for the paper anyway, and I need a guy to help choose the music, so I need your playlist.
Bella is about to respond when Mike comes up behind her.
Come on, Arizona. Give it up for the rain.
He shakes his wet baseball cap into Bella's head.
Oh, terrific.
She heads towards her seat and freezes when she sees Edward. She strides to the table and confidently drops her books down, ready to address him, but he looks up at her.
Hello.
Bella stops, stunned.
I didn't have a chance to introduce myself last week. My name is Edward Cullen.
She's too shocked to answer.
You're Bella.
Yes.
She quickly sits. He abruptly moves to the extreme edge of his seat.
Onion root tip cells. That's what we're working on in their slides. Separate and label them into phases of mitosis, okay? The first partners to get it right win the golden onion!
She excitingly holds up a spray-painted onion.
Okay, come on, people. Tick-tock.
Everyone sets to work. Edward pushes the microscope to Bella.
Ladies first.
She grabs the microscope defensively and snaps the first light in, adjusting the lens.
You've been gone.
Out of town for personal reasons.
She looks back into the microscope.
Prophase.
She begins to remove the slide.
May I look?
She slides in the microscope. He glances through the lens.
Prophase.
Like I said.
He writes it on the worksheet. Then he takes a breath as if trying to calm himself and turns to her with enormous effort.
Enjoying the rain?
Seriously? You're asking me about the weather?
It appears.
No. I don't like the cold, or the wet, or the gray, or parkas, or turtlenecks.
He studies her. She still can't get if he despises her or not. It's infuriating.
What?
He shakes his head and turns to the microscope, switching out the slides. She looks at him and keeps looking. His cheekbones, his lips, so perfect, like a sculpture.
Anaphase.
May I?
She looks through the lens.
Anaphase.
Like I said.
She glances at him and this time sees a smirk. She simply holds out her hand for another slide. He hands one to her.
If you're very cold and rain, why move to the wettest place in the continental U.S.?
It's complicated.
I think I can keep up.
He actually seems interested. She looks into the microscope as...
My mother remarried.
Very complex. So you don't like him?
Phil is fine. Young for her, but he's nice enough.
About the slide?
Interphase.
Hallway. Moments later, Bella exits holding the golden onion, practically bumping into Edward.
Why didn't you stay with your mom stepdad?
All right. Phil's a minor league baseball player, so he travels a lot. My mother stayed home with me, but it made her unhappy. So I decided to spend time with my father.
But now you're unhappy.
No, I'm
just trying to figure you out. You're very hard to read.
Their eyes meet again.
Did you get contacts?
No.
Your eyes were black before, and now they're this, like,
It's just
golden
the
brown.
fluorescence.
He abruptly turns and walks away. High school parking lot. The rain has stopped, but the parking lot is full of water and patches of black ice. Shivering, Bella reaches her truck. She looks across the lot. Edward stands by his silver Volvo with his siblings, about to climb in. A moment as their eyes meet. Then he looks towards the sound of a high-pitched screech. Bella turns to see a van, skidding on the ice, out of control, heading directly for her. Time suddenly fractures. The faces of the students in shock seeing what's coming. The van's driver's face, desperately trying to gain control. Edward's face, looking with horror. The van is about to hit Bella's truck with her standing in between when suddenly something knocks Bella down, pinning her to the ground. She looks up. Edward is on top of her. He breathes in her scent. She takes in his flawless face. Abruptly, we blast back to speed as several things quickly happen. The van smashes into the back of Bella's truck, then spins around, careening toward her and Edward. Then suddenly, Edward's hands create a deep dent in the side of the van's body as it stops, a foot from Bella. Bella looks at Edward, trying to absorb what just happened. As everyone sweeps in, Edward moves to the background. Mike and Eric run to Bella.
Are you
Oh
okay?
my god!
Are you hurt?
That was a
Did
van!
anyone see what
I
happened?
thought you were gonna die!
Call
Amid the
911.
chaos, Bella sees Edward's siblings looking at Edward with disapproval and fury. Cut to the hospital. The double doors burst open as Charlie runs in. He spots Bella sitting on a gurney.
Bells, are you all right?
I'm fine, Dad. Calm down.
I'm so sorry, Bella. I tried to stop.
It's okay, Tyler.
Sure as hell is not okay.
Dad, it's not his fault.
We nearly lost you.
But you didn't.
He glares at Tyler.
You can kiss your license goodbye.
I heard the chief's daughter was here.
They look up as Dr. Carlisle Cullen, mid-30s, approaches blonde, movie star, handsome. His face is kind, but pale, tired.
Good. Dr. Cullen.
I got this one, Jackie.
The ER doctor exits.
You have a nice knot growing back there, but your x-rays show no indication of concussion.
I'm so sorry, Bella. I'm really...
Charlie abruptly pulls the curtain between them.
Well, it would have been a lot worse if Edward hadn't knocked me out of the way.
Edward? Your boy?
Dr. Cullen quickly looks back at the chart. Bella's intuition flickers, sensing he knows something.
Yeah, it was amazing he got to me so fast. He was nowhere near me.
As long as you're safe.
At the hospital reception, Charlie and Bella exit the treatment area.
Does have to sign some paperwork? Better call your mom.
You told her? She's probably freaking out.
He hurries off. Bella pulls out her cell phone, is about to dial, but then sees down the hall Edward, Rosalie, and Dr. Cullen.
This isn't about just you. It's about all of us.
Dr. Cullen sees Bella and stops Rosalie.
Let's take this in my office.
Rosalie glares at Edward as she goes off with Dr. Cullen. Bella approaches Edward.
Can I talk to you for a moment? How did you get over to me so quickly?
I was standing right next to you.
You were next to your car across the lot.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
You're confused. You hit your head.
I know what I saw.
And what exactly was that?
You stopped that van. You pushed it away.
No one will believe that.
I wasn't planning on telling anyone. I just want to know the truth.
Can you just thank me and get over it?
Thank you.
You're not going to let it go, are you?
No.
Edward turns and walks away.
Then I hope you enjoy disappointment.
Why did you even bother?
He stops, looks back at her, unexpectedly vulnerable.
I don't know.
That was the first night I dreamed of Edward Cullen.
We're in a dream sequence, underwater. Bella swims, floating weightlessly. Suddenly, something blasts past her. She spins. It's gone. Something blasts behind her. She finds herself face to face with Cullen, just out of reach. We're back in Bella's room. She bolts up awake. In that split second, in the darkness, she sees Edward watching her. She snaps on the light. The room is empty. Was she dreaming? We're back in high school. The parking lot the next day. On the lawn, several classes congregate for a field trip. Mr. Molina is in charge.
Make sure I get your permission slips.
Push in on Bella's face, staring at the marks on the pavement. Bella, she sees Edward arrive with Alice and Jasper. She watches him, barely noticing as Mike trots up to her.
Look, you're moving. You're alive.
Yeah, false alarm.
Actually, I'm glad you're not dead. Because, well, that would suck. Plus, I wanted to ask you, even though it's like a month away.
But Bella's distracted by Edward in quiet conference with Jasper and Alice. Abruptly, she looks up as if listening to her, and Mike. Though too far away to hear, Bella quickly refocuses on Mike.
So, what do you think? You want to go to prom with me?
Prom, as in dance. I have to go somewhere to Jacksonville. Yeah,
You can't go another weekend.
non-refundable ticket. Maybe you should ask Jessica.
We're at a community college greenhouse on the field trip. Mr. Molina demonstrates the compost machine as the students mess around.
Come on, Eric. Stuff that compost down. Deep. That's it. Yes.
The machine gurgles and spins.
Okay, now, Tyler, take a big steaming cup of compost tea. This is recycling at its most basic level. Yeah. Hey, don't drink that.
When Bella sees Edward pause by a fern, alone,
Hello, Edward.
we notice his fists clench, then unclench.
Really?
No response. She turns, starts to walk away.
What's in Jacksonville?
She turns back to him.
How did you know about that?
You didn't answer my question.
Well, you haven't answered any of mine. You won't even say hello.
Hello.
And how did you stop that van?
Adrenaline rush. Very common. Google it.
Floridians. That's what's in Jacksonville.
She turns to storm off as she stumbles over the irrigation hose. Edward steadies her, catching her scent, still so powerful. He clenches his jaw.
It helps if you actually watch where you put your feet.
Insulted, she keeps moving. He keeps pace, serious now.
I know I've been rude, but it's for the best.
He walks away as Jessica suddenly rushes up.
Guess who just asked me to the prom? I totally thought that Mike was gonna ask you, Bella. Is it gonna be weird?
No way. Zero weirdness. You guys are great together.
I know, right?
Giddy, Jessica rushes to catch up with Angela. As Bella backs away, Edward steps up.
Bella, it would be better if we weren't friends.
Too bad you didn't figure that out earlier. You could have let the van crush me and saved yourself all this regret.
You think I regret saving you?
I know you do.
You don't know anything.
Suddenly, Alice appears at Edward's side.
The bus is leaving. Hi, will you be riding with us?
No, our bus is full.
We're back at Charlie's house. Kitchen, evening. Bella enters, throws down her book bag and coat, still angry. She starts upstairs, but Charlie enters from the kitchen.
Your mother called? Again?
Well, your fault for telling her about the accident.
She always did know how to worry. But she's changed, too. She seems happy. Phil sounds all right.
Yeah, he is.
Off Bella's face, we cut back to high school cafeteria.
Look, push, hoo. Baby, you in?
Should I know what that means?
La Pouche Beach, down on TWILIGHT Res. We're all going after school. Big swell coming in.
Wow. And I don't just surf the internet. Wow.
Eric, you stood up once on a foam board.
There's whale watching too. Come on, come with us.
La push, hoo, baby!
I'll go if you stop saying that.
Yes!
We're at the salad bar station, minutes later. Edward is suddenly next to Bella as she reaches for an apple.
Edible art.
Startled, she fumbles and drops the apple. Edward catches it with his foot, hacky sack style, then bounces it back up into his hand. He presents it to her with a small smile.
Thanks, but your mood swings are giving me whiplash.
I said it would be better if we weren't friends, not that I didn't want to be.
What does that even mean?
Means if you were smart, you'd avoid me.
Edward glances at his siblings, who wait for him at their table.
So let's say, for argument's sake, that I'm not smart. Would you talk to me? Tell me the truth?
Probably not. I'd rather hear your theories.
Okay, how about radioactive spiders? Or kryptonite?
They're talking about superheroes. What if I'm not a hero? What if I'm a bad guy?
No, I don't believe that. You're not bad. You can be a jerk, but it's like this mask to keep people away. Look, why don't we just hang out? Like, come to the beach with us. It'll be fun. Sand fleas, windburn, salt water stinging your eyes.
Which beach?
La Push. Is something wrong with that beach?
Edward glances over at Mike.
Just a little crowded.
We're at La Push Beach. It's freezing, but Mike, Tyler, Jessica, and others suit up for a surf. Eric hangs with them. Bella wanders by a driftwood with Angela, who takes photographs.
Yeah, I don't know. thinking that Eric is gonna ask me to the prom, and then he, like, doesn't.
Well, you could ask him.
What?
Take control. You're a strong, independent woman.
I am?
Bella!
She looks up to see Jacob, Sam, and Embry approaching.
Guys, this is Jacob. Are you stalking me?
You're on my res, remember? Hey, you surfing?
Definitely not.
Keep her company. Her date failed.
What date?
She invited Edward.
To be polite.
I think it's nice that she invited him. No one ever does.
Edward's
Because Colin's a freak.
You got that right.
Wait, you guys know them? You know?
The Cullens don't come here.
Jacob shoots Sam a look. Bella registers this. She casually pulls Jacob aside.
Hey, you want to go look at tide pools?
Later on, Bella and Jacob wander near the water. She nudges him, continuing her attempt at flirtation.
So, what did your friend mean about the Cullens not coming here?
Oops. You caught that, huh? I'm not supposed to say anything.
I can keep a secret.
It's just an old scary story. Did you know that Calvets are supposed to be descendants of wolves?
Like fur, fangs, doggy breath? Wait, so the legends about the Cullens is...
Well, they're supposedly descended from this. Like, enemy clan. But they claim to be different, so we made a treaty with them.
But didn't they just move here?
Or just move back.
Right. So what was this treaty?
If they promised to stay off our lands, we wouldn't expose what they really were to the palefaces.
Jacob pauses dramatically. Bella shivers. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream. Bella jumps as Angela runs past, chased by Eric waving a dead crustacean. Jacob snorts and starts back to the group.
Wait, so what were they really?
It's just a story, Bella.
On the river, late afternoon, a collection of haphazard shacks and boat docks find Waylon Forge scraping paint off of his boat, swigging a pint as he listens to his prehistoric Walkman. Suddenly, the sounds of nature silence themselves. His dog raises his head, starts to growl. Waylon doesn't notice. Waylon, he starts singing and working until he looks up and realizes the dog's gone.
Jerry?
Waylon pulls off the headphones and walks up a walkway, then sees a dog leg sticking out from under a bush.
Come on, Jerry, you old mite!
He pulls at the leg. It's detached. He reels back, stumbling onto a boat, frantically untying the line and pushing out onto the water. Waylon floats, breath short, listening acutely. A noise. He jerks around. Nothing. Then suddenly, his boat rocks violently. He spins. A man now stands on the bow. James, 30, pale white, vampire. But his eyes, unlike the Cullens, are a deep, sinister burgundy.
How'd you do that?
Always the same inane questions.
A woman leaps onto the bow. It's Victoria. Chaotic red hair filled with leaves from the woods. Terrified, Waylon spins around to see Laurent, lounging on his boat seat.
What do you want?
Why are you doing this?
Well, the question should be, will it hurt?
Then, with a lightning fast speed, the three of them violently lunge, smash to black. Fade in on Edward's face against blackness. Snapshots of his eyes, his cheekbones, his lips. We're back in Bella's room as she sits in front of her computer. An ad pops up. Thunderbird and Whale Bookstore. Port Angeles. Bella, intrigued, clicks on it. We're back in Forks High School. Everyone eats lunch outdoors. Bella searches the crowd for Edward.
He's not here.
She looks around to find Jessica sitting on the grass.
Whenever the weather's nice, the Cullens disappear.
They just ditch?
No, Dr. and Mrs. Cullen yank him out for hiking and camping and stuff. I tried the idea out on my parents, not even close.
Bella registers this as Angela suddenly jumps on them.
I'm going to prom with Eric! I just asked him and he said yes!
She hugs Bella.
Are you sure you have to go out of town?
It's a family thing.
Oh my god, we need to hit the stores in Port Angeles before the dresses get cleaned out.
Port Angeles? Can I come with you guys?
Thank God. We need your opinion.
Boutique, Port Angeles. Jessica and Angela try on dresses. Bella pulls a MapQuest printout from her purse. It reads Thunderbird and Whale Bookstore.
I think this halter makes my boobs look big. What do you think, Bella?
Outside the window, a group of rowdy frat boys head toward a bar. Two of them stare at Jessica in her low-cut dress. Embarrassed, she turns back to Bella.
Bella,
Yeah, it looks great.
you said that about the last 5 dresses.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Maybe I should just check out the bookstore and meet you guys at the restaurant later.
You sure?
Bella nods, heads out. Jessica looks in the mirror again.
She was right about this halter, though. It does look great.
Bella exits the bookstore and heads down the sidewalk, but then hears footsteps behind her. She looks around, changing course to cut across the parking lot. Bella, breath short, scared, turns around just as 2 men emerge from the shadows. The frat boys, wasted.
Want a beer?
Look, just take my bag.
We don't want your bag.
She takes a defensive stance and wraps the strap around her wrist to use her purse as mace. But then comes near. She hits him with the groin. In the groin, the book in her bag doubles over. Suddenly, headlights blind them. A silver Volvo screeches up. The frat boys dive out of the way. The passenger side door opens. It's Edward.
Get in.
She does, but the frat boy rushes Edward's side of the car. Edward screeches to a halt and is outside near the frat boy before anyone could even see it. Edward gives a glare that make the frat boy instinctively back off. As Edward climbs back into the car, Bella just stares at him. We're inside the car as they drive.
What? No, how did you find
Let's go
me?
back and rip their heads off.
No, that's a bad idea.
I don't know the vile, repulsive things they were thinking.
You do?
It's not hard to guess.
We're at the Waterfall restaurant in the front entrance. Jessica and Angela exit the restaurant as Bella approaches.
Oh my god, where were you? We left you a message.
We waited, but we were starving.
Then they see Edward behind her.
Sorry I kept Bella from dinner. We ran into each other and got talking.
We understand. We were just leaving, so.
The 2 girls start to go. Bella is forced to go with them.
Okay, well, thank you.
She starts to follow the girls.
Maybe I should make sure Bella gets something to eat. Only if you like. Then I could drive you back myself.
Wow, that's like so thoughtful.
Really, really thoughtful.
Yeah.
I could eat.
As he guides her off, the 2 girls share a look, a noiseless scream of excitement. Inside the restaurant, Bella and Edward sit on the deck. A waitress places a plate of roasted salmon in front of Bella and nothing in front of Edward.
You're not eating?
I'm on the special diet.
Like South Beach.
Not exactly.
So, how about some answers?
Yes, no, no. To get to the other side, and 1.7724538551.
I didn't ask for the square root of pi.
You knew that?
How did you know where I was?
I didn't.
She shakes her head, frustrated, and turns to go inside.
Don't go.
He seems torn by some internal dilemma. Then finally,
Were you following me?
I feel very protective of you.
So that's a yes.
Yes, I followed you. I tried to keep my distance until you needed help.
So you said before that you heard what those guys were thinking. Can you read minds?
I'm thinking of getting a 900 number.
All right, so you read minds. What am I thinking? Wait. Okay, now go.
I have no idea. I can read every mind in there except yours.
he points to various people around the room.
Work, sex, money, sex, sex, boyfriend, sex, boyfriend. Nothing. It's quite frustrating.
Well, why? What's wrong with me?
I tell you I read minds and you think there's something wrong with you?
He smiles, charmed by her, but his smile fades. That torn look returns.
What is it?
I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore.
Edward, you don't have to.
This is wrong.
Edward.
You're cold. We should go.
He walks away before she can ask any more questions. We're back in Edward's Volvo, speeds along a two-lane highway.
I think I'm warm enough now.
She reaches for the heater dial. He does as well. Their hands touch and hold for a moment too long.
Your hand, it's still freezing cold.
He pulls his hand away, but she keeps looking at it. Then her attention shifts outside to flashing police lights. Charlie's cruiser is parked out front of the station.
Dad's here late. Something must have happened.
Edward then sees a second car next to the cruiser.
That's my father's car. What's he doing?
Inside the police station, a distressed Charlie and Dr. Cullen study photographs and evidence. As they wrap up their discussion, Cullen puts a sympathetic hand on Charlie's shoulder, then exits the police station, looking grim.
Carlisle, what happened?
Waylon Forge was found in the woods out near his place. I just examined the body.
He died? How?
Animal attack.
The same kind that killed the security guard down in Mason?
Edward and Dr. Cullen trade a look, subtle, but Bella catches it.
Most likely.
So it's getting closer to town.
Waylon lived all the way down on Queets River, 75 miles south.
But that's...
Bella, you should go inside. Waylon was your father's friend.
Bella enters to find a distressed Charlie studying evidence. He looks up.
Sorry about Waylon.
I'm going on 30 years.
He's obviously torn up. She puts a comforting hand on his shoulder. Charlie squeezes her hand. It's the first physical affection we've seen between them.
We'll get to the bottom of this, Bella. But in the meantime...
He opens a drawer, finds a canister of pepper spray.
I want you to have this.
That's probably not a good idea.
Give me some peace of mind.
Two attendants hoist a metal gurney into an ambulance. On it, Waylon's dead, white, bloody, bare feet peek out from under the sheet. Flash to Edward's black eyes, flash to Edward's cold, white hand, flash to the five Cullens, slow motion, beautiful and white, flash to Waylon's twisted feet. We're back in Bella's room. She turns on a light. She hears a snap outside the window. She closes the curtains, then reaches for the book she bought earlier. She thumbs through, laying the pepper spray within reach. As she leafs through the book, we see photos of ancient carved masks. Then she stops on a photo of a white mask with black eyes and a row of sharp teeth. The inscription reads, "The Cold One." Bella quickly goes to her computer and Googles "Cold One." Beer ads appear. Frustrated, she closes the pop-ups, revealing a link to "The Cold One," a Potomkin. Several pictures begin loading. The seductive Potomkin with his ice blue skin, devouring his victims in tapestries, engravings, paintings. Then several words leap out in quick succession. Speed, strength, cold-skinned, immortal. Then finally, blood drinker. And we land on a picture of a handsome man biting a woman's white neck. We flash the same picture as the moment barely comes alive, but now it's Edward biting Bella's neck, blood dripping back on Bella. She reels back from the computer in utter disbelief.
It's not possible.
Cut to school. The bell rings and students exit class, rushing past Bella as she stands still, waiting. Edward and his siblings cross the lawn, heading into class. Edward sees Bella, sees intensity on her face. He stops. She walks to him, eyes meeting his. Her look away. We have to talk. And she continues directly past him, into the dark forest that borders the school. He watches her disappear in the trees, then takes a step to follow. Jasper moves in front of him. Rosalie grabs his arm.
Edward, don't go.
But Alice gently removes Rosalie's hand from his arm.
He's already there.
Bella stands amid the trees, waiting. Then Edward appears behind her. She doesn't turn around. A beat.
You're impossibly fast and strong. Your skin is pale white and ice cold. Your eyes change color, and sometimes you speak like you're from a different time. You never eat food or drink or come out in the sunlight. And you said no to the beach trip only after you heard where it was, because of the treaty. How old are you? How long have you been 17? I know what the cold ones are, what you are.
Say it. Out loud, say it.
Vampire.
Are you afraid?
No,
Then ask me the most basic question. What do we eat?
you won't hurt me. You're different.
You think you know me?
He glares at her. She holds her ground. Suddenly he takes her by the hand and starts walking.
Where are we going?
Up the mountain, out of the cloud bank. You need to see what I really am, what I look like in the harsh light of the sun.
No, the sunlight will kill you.
Myth, you need to see the truth.
He pulls her, but she stumbles.
Slow down.
Suddenly, he's right next to her.
Are you afraid?
No.
Then come with me, someplace where no one can protect you, where I could do what I've wanted to do from the first moment I met you.
I'm not afraid.
You should be.
He abruptly and effortlessly scoops her up into his arms.
Hold on.
Then he flings her onto his back and starts running. As in the opening sequence, Edward races through the forest. Bella clings to his back. It's frightening, nauseating, intoxicating.
Are you afraid?
No!
But she clings tighter, terrified. They climb in altitude. The sunlight glows white hot beyond the trees. They're about to from the shadow darkness. But suddenly, Bella finds herself sitting on the ground against a tree, alone.
Edward, where are you?
She rises, then steps into a meadow. A perfect circle of swaying grass, wildflowers, and buttery sunlight. Bella looks around and finally sees Edward, his shirt open, standing nearby in the shade of some trees. She takes a step toward him, but he holds up a hand. She waits. Finally, he takes a deep breath and steps out of the shade.
This is why we don't show ourselves in the sunlight.
As the sun hits him, Edward's skin literally sparkles as if embedded with thousands of tiny diamonds. He is magnificent, shimmering, like a statue carved from glittering crystal. He moves toward her.
This is what I am.
You're beautiful.
He immediately backs into the shadows, his skin normal again.
Beautiful? I'm a killer, Bella. This is the skin of a killer.
His arm juts into a shaft of light, sparkling again.
I don't believe that.
Because you believe the lie. The camouflage. I'm the world's most dangerous predator. Everything about me invites you in, my voice, my face, even my smell, as if I need any of that.
He's suddenly behind her, then in front of her, then by a tree, darting so fast we only see where he lands.
As if you could outrun me, as if you could fight me off.
He abruptly rips off a large tree limb, then throws it against a tree trunk with explosive force.
I'm designed to kill.
I don't care.
I've killed people.
It doesn't matter.
I wanted to kill you. I never wanted a human's blood so much in my life. I'm dangerous to you.
I trust you.
Don't.
I trust you, Edward. I'm here.
She takes his hand. She leans in, drawn to him, unaware that her throat is nearing his lips. Then suddenly he's gone.
Edward?
She looks over to find he's on the other side of the meadow.
You took me by surprise. I don't know how to do this.
He moves back to her, slowly.
Me and my family, we're different from others of our kind. We're not nomadic. We have a permanent home. We only hunt animals. We learn to control our thirst. But your scent. It's like a drug to me, my own personal brand of heroin.
Oh, I thought you hated me when we first met.
I did, for making me want you so badly. I'm still not sure I can control myself.
He reaches her again.
I know you can.
I wish I could understand this thing you see in me. You look at me with those eyes. I can't read your mind. Just tell me what you're thinking.
I'm afraid.
Stricken, he sinks gracefully to his knees in the grass.
Good.
She sinks down in front of him.
Not that. I'm afraid you'll disappear, that I'll lose you.
You don't know how long I've looked for you.
They share a smile. Then he reaches toward her neck, pausing.
Be very still.
Exercising great control, he places his hand on her throat. It's so exposed, so vulnerable. The rush between them is overwhelming. He brushes his hand up her cheek, then lowers it to her heart.
And so the lion fell for the lamb.
Stupid lion. Stupid lion.
Sick, masochistic lion.
Crane up on the two of them, lying together as close as they dare, his hand to her heart. Cut back to Bella's room. Bella's still in bed, thinking.
About 3 things I was absolutely positive. 1, Edward was a vampire. 2, there was a part of him that thirsted for my blood. And 3.
As she moves past her window, something catches her eye. Edward leans against his car, looking up at her.
I was falling unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him.
We're back in the Olympic rainforest, another day.
How long have you been like this?
Since 1918, that's when Carlisle found me.
Where do you find you?
In a hospital, dying of Spanish influenza. My parents had already died.
Flashback to Chicago Hospital, 1918 at night.
What was it like?
The word excruciating comes to mind, but what Carlisle did was much harder. Not many of us have had the restraint to do that.
Didn't he just bite?
Not just. Our bite contains venom, and once we taste blood, a sort of frenzy begins. It's almost impossible to stop.
But Carlisle did.
Carlisle did? Yes. First with me, then with his wife, Esme. He found her in a hospital as well. Others followed.
Back to present day.
Does someone have to be dying to become like you?
No, that's just Carlisle. He would never do this to someone who had another choice.
So Carlisle's the reason why you hunt animals instead of people.
Not the only reason.
He stops, looks down at her, serious with emotion.
I don't want to be a monster.
She nods, understands. He smiles.
We call ourselves vegetarians, by the way. For our kind, hunting animals is like living on tofu. Keeps you strong, but it isn't very satisfying.
Then, abruptly, he whips past Bella. She turns to see him standing on a large rock in the river.
Show off.
It's not that impressive, really. Anyone in my family can do this.
Can they all read minds too?
No, that's unique to me. But Alice can see the future.
Really? I bet she saw me coming a mile away.
Her visions are very subjective. The future can change.
We're back at Charlie's house, another day. Bella and Edward wash her truck. A boombox plays. He perches on top of the roof.
Come to my house tomorrow.
Bella looks up. Water ricochets off the cabin, sprays her in the face. He jumps down from the roof.
Your house? With your family?
He wipes down the dented front fender, then reaches under it and, with his bare hands, easily pops a large dent out of the truck's body.
But what if they don't like me?
You're worried because you'll be in a house full of vampires, but you're not worried, not because you'll be in a house full of vampires, but because you think they won't approve of you?
I'm glad I amuse you.
But then his laughter dies as he hears something.
What is it?
A complication.
As a black car comes into view and pulls up.
I'll pick you up tomorrow.
He heads to his car, eyeing the passengers and Jacob, with his father, Billy. Bella watches Edward drive away. Jacob sets up Billy's wheelchair and Billy climbs into it.
Come to visit your truck?
Hey, it looks good. You got that dent out.
Actually, we came to visit your flat screen. First Mariners game of the season. Plus, Jacob here kept bugging me to see you again.
Right. Dad. God, thanks.
Jacob shoots his father an irritated look, just as the police cruiser pulls up. Charlie climbs out, holding 2 six-packs.
Pale ale.
Billy holds up a brown paper bag.
Harry Clearwater's homemade fish fry.
Charlie smiles, pleased. He clicks on the game as they all head inside.
Any luck with the Whalen case?
Found a footprint out of the crime scene today. A bare human footprint.
Billy seems disturbed, but not surprised. Bella is horrified.
Person did that?
Crazy person. Walking around barefoot this time of year.
Spread the word out the res, will you? Keep the kids out of the woods.
Will do. Don't want no one else getting hurt.
Bella looks away from Billy, unnerved. We're in a dream, underwater. Bella floats near Edward, only their hands touching, but their bodies are nearing. So close, so sensual. Suddenly, Edward is yanked downward. Something has him, pulling him down. We're back in Bella's room as her eyes pop open. It was just a dream, but it haunts her. We're cutting to the Cullen house. The Volvo pulls up and Bella climbs out. Surprise.
It's wonderful.
You expected turrets, dungeons, and moats?
No, not moats.
He takes her hand and guides Bella into the large, bright house. Walls of glass look out onto the river.
It's so light and open.
Thanks to tinted windows, it's the one place we never have to hide.
We then notice clanging coming from the kitchen. Edward shakes his head.
I told them not to do this.
Bella and Edward enter to find the kitchen in full swing. Dr. Cullen, Emmett, Rosalie, and Esme prepare elaborate platters of Italian pastas and antipasti.
Ah, Bella, we're making Italiano for you.
This is Esme, my mother for all intents and purposes.
Buongiorno. Ah, malo, bene malo.
You've given us an excuse to use the kitchen for the first time.
Pan across brand new Williams Sonoma cookware boxes to the corner. They're watching an Italian cooking show on TV. Edward hits the DVD remote control.
Ah, I hope you're hungry.
Oh, absolutely.
You already ate.
Bella shoots him a look, but something shatters. Rosalie has thrown down a bowl and now strides out.
Perfect!
Bella follows Rosalie into the living room, trying to explain. The others follow.
I just assumed, because you don't eat,
Of course. That was very considerate of you.
Ignore her. I do.
Yes, let's keep pretending that this isn't dangerous for all of us.
I would never, ever tell anyone.
She knows that.
Problem is, you two have gone public now, so.
Emmett.
She should know. The entire family will be implicated if this ends badly.
Badly?
This hangs in the air uncomfortably. Edward can't look at her.
Oh, badly. Like, where I become the meal.
Emmett chokes back laughter. Edward grins, wraps his arms around Bella. Even Esme has to chuckle. Rosalie, exasperated, heads back into the kitchen. Emmett shrugs, goes after her.
Hi, Bella.
On the balcony, Alice leaps over the rail, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. Jasper follows her. She bounces toward to kiss Bella's cheek and hands Bella the wildflowers.
I'm Alice. You do smell good.
Alice?
It's all right. Bella and I are going to be great friends.
Bella extends her hand.
And you're Jasper, right?
He ignores her hand,
You won't
striking
hurt
out at him.
her.
Edward takes Bella's hand instead.
I'll give you a tour of the house.
I'll see you soon.
Edward shoots Alice a look, which Bella catches before he guides her up the stairs. They reach the landing where Bella sees a wall of...
Graduation caps?
A private joke. We matriculate a lot.
What a nightmare, repeating high school.
True, but the younger we start out in a new place, the longer we can stay there.
They enter Edward's room.
This is my room.
A wall of glass doors open to a deck with a river beyond. The rest is floor-to-ceiling CDs, vinyl, track tapes, and more with a stereo setup.
So you're obsessed with music, but no bed.
No sleep.
Ever?
No nightmares. No drool. No snoring. You have any favorites?
Depends. Alternative, jazz, 60s, 70s.
Oh, she knows her music. All right. 90s. 1890s. Classical.
I'd have to say Debussy.
My favorite too.
Off their connection, he pulls out a CD and puts it on. A solo piano version of Claire de Lune begins to play. He moves to her, taking her hand. Then he starts to turn her into a pirouette, dancing with her, but she breaks off and backs away.
No dancing.
Ever?
No tripping, no falling, no derision.
They can always make you.
You don't scare me.
You really shouldn't have said that.
He grins, a low growling sound in the back of his throat. She laughs and backs out of the door onto Edward's deck. Bella backs up to the rail. Edward appears in the doorway, shifting into a half crouch, about to pounce.
Don't you dare.
Suddenly, she's airborne as he tackles her and they fly off the deck. Then she finds herself in a tree in his arms. When she realizes where she is, she laughs, delighted. Back in the Cullen house, living room, around the same time, Esme and Dr. Cullen look out the window.
Brought life to him.
He's been alone too long, but how can it end well?
Alice has been wrong before.
Not often.
Esme turns to Dr. Cullen, gently but absolutely firm.
Now, Carlisle, Bella is what he wants. It will work out. Somehow.
Outside, Edward looks Bella in the eye.
Trust me?
In theory.
Then close your eyes.
She does, warily. He grips her more firmly, then leaps from a tree into a tree, higher and higher.
Open.
She does, to the most astonishing bird's eye view of the valley, river, and the mountains beyond. Cut away to high school. Jessica pops a volleyball in the air, doing practice serves. Angela takes a picture of her, then points her camera around looking for another shot. Eric studies some flyers advertising the prom.
Monte Carlo? That's our prom theme?
Yeah, gambling, tuxedos, and Bond, James, ow,
As Jessica headbutts the ball, which hits him in the face.
Oh my god.
Angela, scanning for a shot, has frozen. Jessica and Eric see Bella and Edward arriving together.
Everyone's staring.
Oh, not that guy over. Yeah, he just left.
Clothes on a German shepherd, moving fast, tracking. It's a hunting party, several dogs, half a dozen armed men.
Guys, we got something.
The deputies hurry to Charlie. They gather around a footprint. The dogs start pulling them in a certain direction. As the posse takes off at a sprint, an unknown point of view on Charlie from a distance. We watch Charlie and the posse move away, reverse to find James atop a knoll, watching them. Laurent stands next to him. Victoria jogs up.
They took the bait.
By tomorrow, they'll be halfway to Winnipeg.
I love when men chase me.
He grins, then starts taking off her clothes. They pull each other toward the woods in carnal lust. It barely registers when Laurent, who continues to watch the posse with concern. Back to Fork's coffee shop, late afternoon. Bella hurries toward the entrance. She passes Mike, hanging out with several of his basketball teammates.
Yo, Arizona. So you and Colin?
She shrugs as she hurries inside to Charlie's table and slides in.
Sorry I'm late. Biology project.
Cora sets a top sirloin steak in front of Charlie and a plate of seafood in front of Bella.
Or do the seafood combo.
Order one for yourself next time. You should cut back on the steak.
I'm as healthy as a horse.
Say, Chief, boys want to know. You find anything down by Queets River today?
Suspect's moving east. Kitsap County Sheriff is taking over from here, putting extra guys on it.
Oh, I hope they catch him fast.
She moves off.
Your friends are flagging you.
She turns to see Mike and the guys horsing around outside, straws in their noses, making faces at her.
It's okay if you want to join them. I'm just going to turn in early anyway.
Yeah, me too.
It's a Friday night. Go out. The Newton boy's got a big smile for you. Nice family, the Newtons.
He's just a friend.
None of the boys in town interest you?
We're not really going to talk about boys, are we?
You should be around people. I leave you alone too much.
I've never minded being alone. Guess I'm a lot like my dad that way.
Cora returns.
Berry cobbler. And 2 forks.
We're back in Bella's room. Bella looks out the window as she talks on the phone with Renee.
So spring training's going well?
Renee talks of herself from a cafe. Phil is in the background.
Phil's working hard, and we're looking around at houses to rent in case it becomes permanent. You would love Jacksonville, baby.
Well, actually, Forks is kind of growing on me.
Could a guy have something to do with that?
Maybe.
Tell me everything. Jock, Andy, I bet he's smart. Is he smart?
Well, he is kind of a history buff.
She turns to find Edward lying on her bed, smiling. She nearly drops the phone.
I gotta go.
What? No way. We gotta talk boys. Are you being safe?
Edward shoots her a look. He heard that. She's mortified.
I'll call you later, Mom.
Stay on Bella, who hangs up.
How did you get in here?
The window, as always.
You've been here before.
What else is there to do at night?
She pushes him. He grabs her hand and playfully pulls her onto the bed, wrestling as...
You're a peeping Tom, perv!
The chief will hear you.
He studies her face.
I just like watching over you.
He raises his fingers to her lips, sending a thrill up her spine.
There's something I'd like to try.
She nods, bedazzled by him. He takes her face in his hands, hesitates to test himself. Then he softly kisses her. What neither of them is prepared for is her response. Her breath comes up in a wild gasp. Her fingers knot in the air, clutching him to her. Lips part as she breathes in his scent. Then his hands gently, but forcefully, push her face back. She opens her eyes to see what his eyes are. Wild, his jaws clenched.
Oh,
He relaxes slightly, looking at her blushing face.
I'm stronger than I thought.
Wish I could say the same. I'm so embarrassed.
Don't be. But we have to be careful. I can never lose control with you. Like, ever.
She nods, then carefully lies on his chest. He wraps his arms around her. Off to the two of them. Back in Charlie's living room, late afternoon, Bella enters to find Charlie cleaning a rifle. He starts to say hello, but just blurts out.
I have a date with Edward Cullen.
He suddenly looks up like he's having an aneurysm.
He's too old for you.
We're both juniors. I thought you liked the Cullens.
And I thought you weren't interested in any of the boys in town.
Edward doesn't live in town. And it's in the early stage, and whatever, he's outside right now.
Now?
He's
out there.
Yeah, he wants to meet you officially.
Good.
He cocks the rifle in mock seriousness.
Be nice, okay? He's important.
Charlie gives his daughter a reassuring nod. Then she opens the door to reveal Edward in a parka and gloves.
Hey, Fawn, I want to formally introduce myself. I'm Edward.
Edward extends his hand. Charlie takes it, but grunts a hello, resisting him.
I won't keep Bella out late tonight. We're just going to go play baseball with my family.
Bella's going to play baseball.
Bella's equally surprised, but hides it.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Well, more power to you, I guess.
Yes, sir. She'll be safe with me, sir, I promise.
As Edward exits, Charlie holds Bella back.
You got the pepper spray?
Edward and Bella climb into a massive Jeep parked in the drive.
Your father thinks you should go to an all-girls school.
No fair reading Charlie's mind.
As they climb in the Jeep, Bella notices a baseball bat.
And since when do vampires like baseball?
It's the American pastime. Plus, there's a thunderstorm coming in. It's the only time we can play. We'll see why.
We're in a clearing of the woods. Twilight. Bella and Edward pull up in the Jeep. She takes in a rough baseball diamond, set into an enormous field in the lap of the Olympic Peaks. Esme and Emmett come to greet Bella.
Good thing you're here. We need an empire.
Yeah, she thinks we cheat.
I know you cheat. Call him as you see him, Bella.
Alice is on the pitcher's mound.
It's time.
Thunder cracks as we begin the montage, the game. Alice pitches with lightning-fast speed. Rosalie smashes the ball with an aluminum bat. It cracks like thunder and is followed directly by real thunder.
Now I get why you need the thunder.
The ball shoots like a meteor deep into the forest. Edward disappears after it.
That has to be a home run.
Edward's very fast.
Rosalie darts around the bases, almost a blur. Edward races out of the forest with the ball and whiffs it to home plate. Whap! Esme catches it in a millisecond before Rosalie slides in.
You're out?
Jasper whacks the next pitch deep into the forest, but before Edward can chase it, Alice suddenly gasps.
Stop. I didn't see them.
Edward is immediately at Bella's side. The family gathers at home plate.
They're traveling so quickly.
You said they left the country.
They did, but then they heard us. And they changed their minds.
Oh, put your hair down.
Like, that'll help. I could smell it from across the field.
Edward ignores Rosalie as she rearranges Bella's hair.
I should have brought you here. I'm so sorry.
There's a faint rustle. Then, James, Victoria, and Laurent emerge from the trees. As they near, Bella sees their bare feet, then the deep burgundy of their eyes. Laurent holds up the baseball.
I believe this belongs to you.
He tosses the ball to Dr. Cullen.
Thank you.
Could you use 3 more players?
Of course.
I'm Laurent. This is Victoria and James.
Would you like to bat first?
Laurent picks up the bat. The Cullens take the field.
I'm afraid your hunting activities have caused something of a mess for us.
Our apologies. Didn't realize the territory had been claimed.
Yes, we maintain a permanent residence here.
The 3 newcomers exchange a look of surprise.
Really?
Really? Well, we won't be a problem anymore.
The humans were tracking us, but we led them east.
Jasper pitches the ball. Laurent slams it, but Alice is up a tree in a flash, catching it. James is up next, and he power slams it with amazing force. Runs past first, past Edward, past Bella. As the wind from the ball ruffles her hair, carrying her scent, James suddenly screeches to a halt. He lurches into a crouch, eyes locked on Bella.
You brought a snack.
Edward springs in front of Bella, baring his teeth. A snarl rips from his throat. James growls back. The Cullens rush into position behind Edward. Laurent and Victoria line up behind James.
The girl is with us.
We won't hurt her.
Just try it.
I think it's best if you leave.
Yes, I can see the game is over. We'll go now. James?
But James's eyes don't leave Edward's. Laurent puts a hand on James's shoulder, and finally, James backs into the woods with his cohorts, disappearing. Once they're gone, Esme immediately gathers up the bats.
Get Bella out of here, we'll follow them.
Dr. Cullen, Jasper, and resentful Rosalie race off after the three vampires. Edward scoops Bella up and whips her into the Jeep and straps her in.
James is a tracker. I saw his mind. The hunt is his obsession, and my reaction set him off.
The tires spin as Edward whips the Jeep around.
We're a large clan of strong fighters, all protecting one vulnerable human. I just made this the most exciting game ever for him.
The Jeep careens down the dirt mountain road, a jolting, death-defying ride, splashing through creeks until they reach a mountain road.
First place he'll go is your house. He'll track your scent there.
What? Charlie's there. He's in danger because of me, because of us.
Then we'll lead the tracker away from him, somehow.
He angrily whips around a bend, mud flying. At Charlie's house, he watches a baseball game on TV as the door suddenly bursts open to reveal Bella crying and Edward devastated.
I said leave me alone!
Bella, don't do this. Just think about it, please.
Get out! It's over!
She slams the door. Charlie has risen, baffled, concerned.
Bella, what happened?
I have to get out of this place, out of Forks. I'm leaving now.
Bella runs upstairs. Charlie hurries after her. Bella slams the bedroom door behind her, but Edward's already there, packing.
Can't hurt him.
There's a knock. Charlie's on the other side.
Bells? Did he hurt you?
No, Dad.
Then what? Did he break up with you?
No, I broke up with him.
I thought you liked him.
That's why I have to leave. I don't want this. I want to go home.
Then he disappears out the window. Bella gathers strength to continue her performance. She opens the door to reveal Charlie. He follows as she carries her duffel and truck keys down the stairs.
Your mother's not even in Phoenix.
She'll come home. I'll call her from the road.
You can't drive home now. I'll take you to the airport in the morning.
I want to drive. I need time to think. I'll pull into a motel in a few hours, I promise.
Bella reaches the ground floor with Charlie on her heels. He blocks the door.
Bells, I know I'm not around much, but I can change that. We can do more things together.
Like watch more baseball on the flat screen or go to the coffee shop. Same people, same steak, same berry cobbler every night. That's you, Dad. That's not me.
This hits Charlie hard. She can barely stand it. Heads down the stairs.
Bella, I just got you back.
And if I don't get out now, I'm going to get stuck here like Mom did.
She pushes past him at the door. She heads to her truck. James watches from a distance as Bella pulls out. The truck moves off, and so does James, leaving Charlie alone with his pain, staring out the window. Bella drives, wiping tears away. Suddenly, Edward is outside the car near Bella's window.
He'll forgive you. Slide over.
Bella slides over to the passenger seat as Edward opens the door and takes the wheel.
His face. I said the same words my mother used when she left him.
It was the only way he'd let you go.
Edward floors it.
Your father's safe now, Bella. The tracker is following us.
Suddenly, boom! A dark figure leaps onto the bed of the truck. Bella screams.
It's all right. It's all right. It's just Emmett. Alice is in the car behind us.
They arrive at the Cullen house, but freeze when the door opens and Laurent exits. Dr. Cullen appears.
He came to warn us about James.
I've grown tired of his games, but he's got unparalleled senses. Absolutely lethal. I've never seen anything like him in 300 years. And the woman, Victoria, will pack him. Don't underestimate her. I'm truly sorry what has been unleashed.
And he moves off, disappearing into the woods. The side door bursts open as Edward and the Cullens enter, followed by Bella, as they load up the vehicles.
I had to fight off our kind before. We're hard to kill.
But not impossible. We'll tear him up.
We'll rip him apart with our hands and burn the pieces.
I don't relish killing another creature, even a sadistic one like James.
If he doesn't get to one of us first.
This is insane. You can't put yourselves in dangers like this for me.
Too late.
Edward shoots Rosalie a look, but he grabs 2 sets of keys off a hook, throwing one set lightning fast to Dr. Cullen.
I'll run Bella south while you lead the tracker the way.
No, Edward, the tracker thinks you won't leave Bella. He'll follow you.
I'll go with it, Bella. Jasper and I will drive her south. I'll keep her safe, Edward.
You keep your thoughts to yourself.
She nods. Edward finally surrenders his keys to Alice. Then he opens one of Bella's suitcases, pulling out clothes, tossing them to Edward.
Rosalie, put these on so the tracker will pick up Bella's scent.
Rosalie drops the clothes.
Why should I? What is she to me? Just a danger you've inflicted on us.
Rosalie, Ella is with Edward. She's a part of this family now, and we protect our family.
She picks up the clothes. Dr. Cullen hits the door opener, and the massive metal doors roll open. Dr. Cullen and Esme climb into the SUV.
If any of you get hurt because of me,
We won't. There are 5 of us. 2 of them. When it's done, I'll come get you. You're my life now.
They drink each other in, possibly for the last time. As the SUV pulls out, Jasper drives, Alice in the passenger seat. Bella is in the back.
Mom, it's me again. You must have let your phone die. Anyway, I'm not in Forks anymore, but I'm okay. I'll explain when you call.
Time passes. Trees blow past us at a blinding speed as we track Edward, Rosalie, and Emmett, who dart in and out of frame, blasting through the woods. Edward stops, trying to read his enemy's thoughts. Rosalie tears a tiny swatch of her shirt, leaves it on a tree, and they move on. We're not at the part of the woods. Esme and Dr. Cullen atop a hill see Victoria jog into view. She then looks in their direction. Once Dr. Cullen and Esme are assured she has her scent, they continue over the hill's crest. James blasts past a tree, then stops, backtracks to the tree, finds the tiny swatch of fabric. Something's not right. He runs back in the opposite direction. Scottsdale Hotel, living room. The blinds are pulled. Alice and Jasper stare blankly at a TV set. Alice looks up at Bella, enters, looking at her phone.
She would call.
You should eat.
They could get hurt. It's not worth it.
Yes, it is.
She's taken aback. It's the first time she's engaged with her.
Edward's changed since he found you, and none of us want to look into his eyes for the next 100 years if he loses you. It's worth it.
Suddenly, Alice reels. Jasper goes to her. Bella follows.
What do you see?
The tracker. He just changed his course.
Jasper quickly sets a pad of paper and pencil in front of her.
Where will it take him, Alice?
Mirrors. A room full of mirrors.
Alice begins to draw at hyperspeed, closing her eyes, trying to see it clearly.
How did the visions work? Edward said they weren't always certain.
She sees the course people are on while they're on it. If they change their mind, the visions change.
Bella looks over Alice's shoulder to see the drawing.
So the course James is on now will lead him to a ballet studio?
Been here?
No, I don't know. I used to take ballet lessons as a kid. The school had an arch like that.
Was your school here in Phoenix?
Yeah, around the corner from my house, but I haven't been there in 10 years.
Do you have any reason to go now?
No. Hell no. I hated that place.
Suddenly, Bella jumps as her cell phone rings. She picks it up.
Edward, are you all right?
We jump to Dr. Cullen driving the Jeep, fast. Emmett in the back. Edward in the passenger seat on his cell phone.
We're coming to get you. We lost the tracker. The woman's still in the area. Rosalie and Esme are protecting your father.
This is my fault. You warned me and I didn't think.
Hey, Bella, we're in too deep. We can't change how we feel.
No, we can't. When will you get here?
In a couple hours. And you and I will go somewhere together. The others will keep hunting. Bella, I swear to you, I'll do whatever it takes to make you safe again.
Back in the Scottsdale Hotel, Alice is in the lobby, settling the bill. Jasper loads up the car front. Bella gathers her things, then her phone rings again. Caller ID reads, home. She answers.
Mom, I'm so glad you got my...
Bella, where are you?
Calm down, Mom. Everything is fine, okay? I'll explain everything.
We hear rustling on the line, as if Renee dropped the phone.
Mom, are you there?
Nice house you have here. Not the best on the block, but comfortable.
We're in Renee's house in Phoenix, very close on James, his sinister eyes and vicious smile.
I was prepared to wait for you, but then Mom came home after she received a very worried call from your dad. It all worked out quite well. I must say, Forbes High School doesn't protect its students' privacy very well. It was just too easy for Victoria to find your previous address.
Bella?
Leave my mother out of this.
Oh, you're protective of her. That's nice. You can still save her, but you'll need to get away from your friends. Can you do that?
I don't think so.
If your mother's life depends on it?
Where should I meet you?
James grins as he fingers a photo of Bella that's attached to the refrigerator with a magnet.
The old ballet studio around the corner. And I'll know if you bring anyone along. Poor Mommy would pay the price for that mistake. She smells like you. Delicious.
Bella hangs up, panicked. She starts flinging open drawers, searching for a weapon. But then she remembers. She finds the pepper spray Charlie gave to her. Bella walks through the lobby, scanning for Jasper and Alice. She spots them outside, loading the Mercedes. She slips out the opposite door, rushes toward a taxi and jumps in, closes the door. The driver is an elderly woman with a hacking cough.
8th and Palo Verde, please. I've never given much thought to how I would die, but dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go.
Bella climbs out of the taxi. It pulls away, leaving her on the curb facing the deserted building of Mimi's School of Dance. Bella twirls her mother's ring around her finger. She reaches for the pepper spray.
I can't bring myself to regret the decisions that brought me face to face with death. They also brought me to Edward.
She slips the pepper spray into her jeans pocket. She wraps her purse around her wrist. She takes a breath, approaches the school, peers in the windows. The blinds are drawn, but from inside we hear a faint sound.
Bella? Bella?
Bella goes to the front door. It's unlocked. Bella cautiously enters this grand, empty room of mirrors. A ballet bar wraps around the walls.
Bella, where are you?
She follows the sound to a cleaning supply closet. She throws open the door to find a TV. On screen, a video plays. Bella, age 7, hides in the very closet the TV is in now. Little Bella looks up at us.
Don't you want to dance, baby?
Little Bella shakes her head stubbornly. Renee, 10 years younger, appears on screen and kneels next to Bella.
Everyone makes fun of me.
You're a wonderful dancer.
Mom, I suck.
Laughter behind Bella. She spins, trying to locate James in the mirror.
That's my favorite part. Stubborn child, weren't you?
Bella's face flushes with rage and relief.
She's not here.
Sorry, but you really made it too easy.
Visible on the mirror, he sighs, disappointed. Then he steps up next to her and points a video camera at Bella.
So, to make things more entertaining, I'm gonna make a little film of our time together. Borrowed this from your house. Hope you don't mind. And action.
He turns it on. Bella flings her purse at him and runs for the door.
Oh, excellent! An escape attempt.
Suddenly, he's right behind her. She freezes.
It'll break Edward's poor little heart.
He smells her hair, touches her throat.
Edward has nothing to do with this.
He will. His rage will make for more interesting sport than his feeble attempt to protect you.
She spins around and sprays him. Then she runs as James reels back briefly, but he leaps over her and lands right in front of her. Amused, he flings her across the floor like a bowling ball. She smashes hard into a mirrored column. James captures it on film.
Beautiful. Very visually dynamic. I chose my stage well.
He advances toward her.
Still stubborn, aren't you? Is that what makes you special? Because frankly, I don't see it.
He inhales as if he can taste her already.
Too bad you didn't have the strength to turn you. Instead, he kept you this fragile little human. It's cruel, really.
James slips on the camera, but the lens is coated in pepper spray. He tries to wipe it off.
Well done! You've succeeded in annoying me.
He stomps on her shin. We hear a snap. Bella screams in agony.
Tell Edward how much it hurts.
Abruptly, the camera is in her face.
Tell him to avenge you.
No, Edward, don't!
James inhales as her blood pools. He leans in hungry. Bella, half conscious, watches him turn the camera on his own face.
Cut the end.
Suddenly, James is knocked out of frame. He rises to find himself face to face with Edward. James charges Edward, forcing him against a column.
You're alone because you're faster than the others, but not stronger.
James smashes Edward's face into the mirror until it cracks.
I'm strong enough to kill you.
Edward flings James backwards, smashing through a freestanding mirror. He scoops Bella up and leaps toward the exit, when suddenly he and Bella are jerked downward. James flings Edward onto the top window, embedding him in the casement and bricks. James crouches beside Bella. He grabs her hand, looking directly at Edward with a sinister grin. He sinks his teeth into Bella's hand. She screams in agony. Edward dive bombs James, savagely plowing him through the floorboards. Edward roars up to his feet and swings James around like a baseball bat, smashing him from mirror to mirror. James is battered, beaten. Bella moans, and the sound of pain slices through Edward. In an animalistic fury, Edward bites off a piece of James' flesh. Pan from Bella's horrified face to Dr. Cullen, now standing beside Edward. Edward turns to see his father and Emmett, Jasper, and Alice dropping down from the balcony. Edward realizes he's gone too far. He backs off as his siblings lunge at James like a pack of animals. Dr. Cullen rushes to the injured Bella, who screams again in pain, a massive bleed in her leg, but clearly her hand hurts the most.
Her femoral artery's been severed. She's losing too much blood.
Oh, it's on fire! My hand!
Venom.
You have to make a choice. Either let the change happen.
No,
Alice appears behind Edward.
It's going to happen. I've seen it.
it doesn't have to be that way.
Alice, find me a tourniquet, a rag, a shirt.
Alice holds her nose and avoids the blood as she rips the sleeve off her blouse and kneels to aid Dr. Cullen.
Oh, it's burning!
What's the other choice? You said
Tighter, Alice, above the knee.
Carlisle.
You can try to suck the venom out.
I won't be able to stop.
Find the will to stop, but choose. She only has minutes left.
Edward looks down at Bella, thrashing in pain. Finally, Edward takes her hand. She tries to pull it away.
It's all right, Bella. I'll make it go away.
He looks at her, then starts to suck the venom from her hand. They never take their eyes off of one another. The connection palpable, intense. Close on Bella's eyes, wild with pain. She sucks harder. Hungrily, he wants to stop but can't.
Stop. Her blood is clean. You're killing her.
But the bloodlust is too strong. He is killing her. Bella looks at him forgivingly as she begins to lose consciousness.
Death is peaceful, easy. Life is harder.
Fade to white. An oxygen tube rests under Bella's nose. She reaches for it, confused. A hand stops her as her surroundings come into focus.
Oh, you're awake, baby. You're okay.
Bella lies in a hospital bed, bandage, leg in a cast.
Edward, where's
He's asleep.
She nods across the room to a chair in which Edward sleeps.
He never leaves. And your dad's down in the cafeteria.
what happened?
Baby, you fell down 2 flights of stairs and through a window. Edward came here to convince you to come back to Forks, and his father brought him down. And you went to their hotel, but you tripped on the stairs.
A moment, then Bella realizes it's a cover story. She nods.
Yeah, sounds like me.
Renee's cell phone beeps. She opens it, reads a text, starts typing a reply.
Oh, it's Phil. He's worried about you.
Mom, you're texting.
Oh, God, I told him to stay in Florida. The sun signed him.
That's great, Mom.
Oh, Jacksonville is always sunny, and you're going to have your own bathroom.
Mom, wait, I want to live in Forks. I have Dad and friends.
And he's there.
Bella looks to Edward and shrugs, conceding the truth.
Charlie doesn't like him. He blames him for your leaving.
What do you think?
I think that boy is in love with you.
Bella smiles. Renee grins. Bella glances at Edward.
Mom, would you mind getting Dad? I want to talk to him and apologize.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't care about that baby, but I'll go get him.
Renee kisses Bella's forehead and exits. Bella watches her go, the door shutting behind her. Bella turns back to find Edward standing next to her with deep concern. Her eyes well. He kisses her forehead soothingly.
Is James, did you,
We took care of him. And the woman, Victoria, she ran off.
She closes her eyes with relief, then looks at him.
I'm alive because of you.
You're in here because of me.
Her wounds cause him pain. He strokes her face.
The worst of it was thinking I couldn't stop.
But you did.
Bella, you should go to Jacksonville, where I can't hurt you anymore.
What? No, I want to be with you. I don't want.
Edward sits next to her.
It's all right. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
He wraps an arm around her as she curls up in his arms. At Charlie's house, we're at a picnic table. Charlie cleans a fish with a big knife. Edward waits awkwardly near his Volvo, dressed in an elegant suit. The front door opens and they look up to see Bella in a stunning long dress. Bella descends the steps with difficulty due to her leg cast. Charlie edges out Edward to help her down.
Alice lent me this dress. It was the only thing that would fit over my cast. Is it too...
You're perfect. I'll take good care of her, Chief.
Heard that before.
Edward moves to open the car door.
I put new pepper spray in your bag. And you look beautiful.
Edward's Volvo pulls up to a lovely mansion. He helps Bella out of the car and begins to guide her through the dining room. Mr. Molina and other teachers are there.
I can't believe you're making me do this.
Edward guides her through a corner to the prom, Monte Carlo style. Gaming tables and roulette wheels, guys in tuxes, girls in gowns, gambling for prizes, dance and socialize.
You really are trying to kill me.
Prom is an important rite of passage. I don't want you to miss anything.
Bella sees the dance floor, where a gap has formed. In the middle, two couples whirl gracefully. It's Alice and Jasper, Rosalie and Emmett, looking absolutely stunning. Rosalie glances over. Indifference has replaced fury, but Alice waves brightly. Bella returns it with a smile as we hear a crossfade into the next track. It's Eric at the turntables running a DJ booth.
Ollie?
You're serious.
He doesn't wait for an answer, more or less carries her to the dance floor, then places her feet atop his own and starts to move.
See? You're dancing.
At prom.
As they dance, she feels his grace, his strength, becomes thoughtful. Finally, she looks at him.
Edward, why did you save me? If you let the venom spread, I could have been like you by now.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't want this.
I want you, always.
I won't end your life for you.
I'm dying anyway. Every minute I get closer, older.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
Not the way Alice saw it. I heard her. She saw me like you.
Your visions change, Bella.
Based on what someone decides, and I've decided.
Is that what you dream about, becoming a monster?
I dream about being with you forever.
You really want this?
Yes.
He lowers his lips to her neck. One bite is all it would take.
You're ready right now?
Yes.
His lips hover over her skin. A long beat. Then he presses his lips to her throat. Not a bite. A kiss. He looks up at her.
You're gonna have to have a long and happy life with me. Isn't that enough?
For now.
They whirl around, gliding on his grace, never looking away from one another.
No one will surrender tonight, but I won't give in. I know what I want.
Continue up and back on the dance floor. We realize someone's watching it, looking down from a second floor. Pull back to reveal Victoria, turning from the window. She's seething, a low, sinister snarl in the back of her throat. Her burgundy eyes filled with vengeance as we smash to black.